All right, folks, this is Nick from Rightly Dividing the Word of Truth. Continuing in my series on the doctrine of the Trinity with special reference to the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament. This is the 6th video in the series, and it's going to be the last Old Testament passage that we examine. So today we're going to be looking at Judges chapter 13, verses 2 through 23. It's a lot to read, so let's get right into it. And it says, there was a certain man of Zorah of the tribe of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and had no children. And the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, behold, you are barren and have not borne children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. So we already see who it was that appeared to the woman. It's the angel of the Lord. He appears to her and he speaks. And what does he say? He says, behold, you are barren and have not borne children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Therefore be careful and drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean. For behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. No razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb, and he shall begin to save Israel from the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, a man of God came to me, and his appearance was like the appearance of the angel of God. Very awesome. I did not ask him where he was from, and he did not tell me his name. But he said to me, behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. So then, drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah prayed to the Lord and said, O Lord, please let the man of God whom you sent come again to us, and teach us what we are to do with this child who will be born. And God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman as she sat in the field, but Manoah, her husband, was not with her. So the woman ran quickly and told her husband, behold, the man who came to me the other day has appeared to me. And Manoah arose and went after his wife and came to the man and said to him, are you the man who spoke to this woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, now when your words come true, what is to be the child's manner of life, and what is his mission? And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, of all that I said to the woman, let her be careful. She may not eat of anything that comes from the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, or eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, please let us detain you and prepare a young goat for you. And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, if you detain me, I will not eat of your food, but if you prepare a burnt offering, then offer it to the Lord. For Manoah did not know that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, what is your name, so that when your words come true, we may honor you? And the angel of the Lord said to him, why do you ask my name, seeing that it's wonderful? So Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it on a rock to the Lord, the one to whom works wonders, and Manoah and his wife were watching. And when the flame went up toward heaven from the altar, the angel of the Lord went up in the flame of the altar. Now Manoah and his wife were watching, and they fell on their faces to the ground. And the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to his wife, we shall surely die, for we have seen God. But his wife said to him, if the Lord had meant to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering at our hands, or shown us all these things, or now announced to us such things as these. All right, so what are we to notice from this? What are the observations that we make from this passage? Well, observation number one, like in all these other passages, the angel of the Lord appears to Manoah's wife and Manoah throughout the story. So it's the angel of the Lord. He's the main character. And he appears. They see him. So they see this angel of the Lord. Observation number two, the angel of the Lord speaks to Manoah and Manoah throughout the story. So again, he appears, he speaks. He's the main character. Observation number three, the angel of the Lord is repeatedly called man of God. This tells us something about his appearance. It tells us something about what he looked like. He must have appeared to them in some kind of human form for them to refer to him as man of God. Observation number four, Manoah prays to the Lord about the angel of the Lord, whom he calls the man of God, that the Lord sent. So we see distinction happening. We see variation here. The angel of the Lord and the Lord are distinct in the way that Manoah prays. So the Lord and the angel of the Lord, they're once again distinguished, right? Observation number six, the angel of the Lord tells Manoah to offer sacrifice to the Lord, but it's ambiguous as to who actually receives the sacrifice. That's why you'll notice if you go back and you look at the slide, I had the red and the green kind of intertwined in gradient. because it's not exactly clear who receives the sacrifice. Now, it wouldn't be strange for the angel of the Lord to receive the sacrifice because he's already done it back in Judges chapter 6. And before that, he did it in Genesis chapter 22. So the angel of the Lord receives sacrifice just as the Lord receives sacrifice. But if it is in fact the Lord receiving the sacrifice here, well, that's fine as well. But they leave it ambiguous. It could be that both of them receive it together. When the fire comes and consumes the sacrifice, the angel of the Lord disappears from their sight. This could be a type or a shadow of Jesus disappearing from the disciples on the road to Emmaus in the breaking of the bread. But that's a video for another day. I will say, observation number 7, that Manoah identifies the angel of the Lord whom they have seen as God very clearly, and he fears death for seeing him. He says, surely we're going to die, for we've seen God. So once again, the angel of the Lord is equated with God in this story. Observation number 8, Manoah's wife identifies the angel of the Lord as the Lord who announced to them these things. The conclusion, like with the rest of these stories, the angel of the Lord is both identified with and distinguished from the Lord in this passage. So we see once more plurality and unity. We see distinction. We see that they recognize that it was God whom they had seen, and we know that because they were fearful of dying. But it's clear that the angel had been seen. It's clear that the angel was sent from the Lord, but it's also clear that the angel was treated as the Lord. What's not as clear is who exactly receives the sacrifice, and that could be an intentional ambiguity, or maybe not. Either way, it leaves us concluding that there's something unique and special about the angel of the Lord and his relationship to the Lord himself, and agency simply does not account for that. So as I said, this is going to be our last Old Testament passage on the angel of the Lord, but it's not the last in this series about the angel of the Lord. In a future video, I'm going to tackle this idea of agency and show exactly why it just doesn't account for what we see here. I'm also going to look at some New Testament evidence that is going to identify Jesus as the angel of the Lord. Because again, many Unitarian detractors want to insist that nowhere is Jesus ever identified with the angel. That's fine. We're going to make the case that he is. So with that said, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, share this video, like it, leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. God bless.